Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Frightening voicemails build with each successive message, as Mary relates in this first true story in Dayton, Ohio. Mary and her boyfriend John had often spoke about living together since they were freshmen at the University of Dayton. They often dreamed about what they would do after college, what home they would buy, and how sweet life would be together. They were excited to have a life together now that they had finally graduated. Frightfully, this happy life evaporated. It began with a small gift left at Mary's front door. At first, she thought it a surprise left by John to welcome her home. But John said he didn't leave anything. It became a mystery from whom they did not know. Every day, Mary arrived home from work at a contractor's office. She found an unwanted gift from a stranger, with just a note to Mary and saying nothing more. But the most creepy and frightening thing was that with every gift left, there was also a photo left with it. Every single gift basket included a picture of Mary out in public. There were pictures of her walking down the street, getting into her car, shopping at the mall, and eating ice cream with friends. After several weeks, Mary brought another basket into the house and began crying. John came to her and hugged her. He was now very angry with these mystery baskets, as he knew it wasn't just harassment anymore. It was a stalker. Later that day, John installed a security camera on the front door. That night, after she and John washed up the dinner dishes, she decided to take a bath and try to relax. She put on her favorite music and poured a fragrant bubble bath. And as she began to settle to the music and the warm water, she heard her cell phone ding. She looked and saw it was a message from an unknown number saying, "I'm here, outside." John, hearing Mary's screams, came running into the bath and saw the message Mary held up to him. He raced to check the video from the front door camera on his phone and instantly saw a stocky man standing at their front door. The man stood at the door for about 3 minutes before abruptly turning and leaving in the direction of their backyard and the woods beyond. Here is a screenshot from John's cell phone of the video of a man wearing a black face mask standing at their door. His face was completely covered except for his eyes. Mary also captured a video she recorded while she was home alone one night, while John was working late. The same man came back to the house and was knocking on the door. Again, the same message. "I'm here, outside." In fear, she called the police, but they didn't respond very quickly, and the man was gone. They suggested that she change her phone number. A few nights passed with nothing. Mary thought maybe the creepy guy had finally gone away. But that night, about 3:30 in the night, her phone buzzed. She could see it was the same number as the crazy stalker, so she didn't pick up. About a minute after, her phone beeped with a voicemail signal. There was a voicemail from the same unknown number. "I have no soul, no fear in my veins. I see nothing, as I have no eyes in this world, only an urge to kill. It consumes me. It isn't a game. I'll have you in my own time. I can take you when I wish. There is nothing you can do. I know your every move, where you go, what you like, and what frightens you. I can destroy you." The next day, Mary and John drove to the police station to make a report and give the police all of the videos and voicemails they had collected. There is no further information on this, as the police are still investigating. but mysterious unwanted gift baskets occasionally still show up at the door. The worst fear of many women is stalking. Like in the last creepy voicemail video you just watched, this is an alarming problem for many girls in particular, and a much more common problem than you may imagine. The creepy voicemail story you're now going to hear is recent. It was recorded on February 11th, 2023, by a girl named Sally, living in Hamilton, New York. Sally lives with 3 sorority sisters in a house they've rented in Hamilton near the university. Sally met an unmistakably good guy who seemed normal and even kind while she was walking around Hamilton on a recent Saturday afternoon with her girlfriend. They spoke briefly while buying coffee at the coffee shop, and he asked for her number, so she gave it to him. He said his name was Jack, and he was working, not going to school at Colgate as Sally. Later that afternoon, he called and asked if she wanted to go to a nearby college pub and grab dinner. She said yes and picked her up at her house. According to Sally's story, the dinner didn't go so well. Jack came on very weirdly and kinda gave her an uneasy feeling. He had a weird vibe she didn't like very much, so after they ate, she split the check with him because she didn't want a second date with him and didn't want to be owing to him in any way. It was the right thing to do in her mind. He drove her back to her house and dropped her off after the date. That night he sent her 3 messages, each about how much fun he had with her and how much he liked her and what a sexy girl she was. It all added to Sally's first impressions at the restaurant and to her overall uncomfortable feeling with him. It was just really creepy the way he did it and said it. She didn't respond to the messages, just gave the heart emoji, saying thanks, hoping this would be the end. But this guy continued to message her every day. Every single day, he messaged, and she never responded. Finally, she got to the point she felt she had to block him on her phone. But unfortunately, this did not end. On February 3rd, at 3:15 a.m., when all of her housemates were fast asleep, Sally got a voicemail on her phone. "Sally, it's Jack. Why don't you answer my messages? You're pretty screwed up, girl. Do you know that your windows are open, by the way? I'm whispering so that I won't wake you. You'll find a couple of gifts in your kitchen." At the end of this creepy message, you can hear a door squeaking and closing. It is the sound Sally's rental house door makes when it closes. One of the housemates hears the door, is instantly awakened, and yells to the other girls to wake up. The 4 girls listened to the voicemail on Sally's cell phone. Together, they went into the kitchen to see what unwanted gift was left by Jack. And there in the center of the kitchen table was a stuffed animal. A bear. Sally's favorite stuffed animal, which she had told him on their first date to the pub. Next to the bear was a Valentine's Day card that simply said, "Happy Valentine's Day, from Jack." The girls immediately called the police, and Sally showed the police officer all of the voicemails and non-stop messages over the last weeks. They said they would pick him up and charge him with breaking, entering, and stalking. Nothing more is known at this time, as this is very recent. Phones are annoying and can be so irritating sometimes with bad connections, faint sounds, and the pain of dropped calls mid-thought due to bad reception. In January 2022, this happened to Kathy as she was speaking with her best friend from school. When her girlfriend quickly redialed, it wasn't Kathy who answered this time. It was almost a whisper, but clearly deep breaths, in and out, with sporadic words spoken by a really deep, scary voice. At the same time, Kathy was trying to call her friend back, but she kept getting voicemail.
Please leave a message.
A few minutes passed, and finally, her girlfriend picked up, and she was in a sheer panic and somehow convinced that Kathy was playing a prank on her. After some apprehension about her girlfriend's story, Kathy received a voicemail on her phone with a whispered, deep breathing, just as her friend had described. A deep and hollow, raspy voice was indistinct, and the words being said were up for conjecture. We can only speculate on what was being said, but at one point, you could hear the voice saying either,
"Help me,"
or,
"Call me."
Very creepy, and they were both very spooked without an explanation. "Help me. Call me." The end of the voicemail was very garbled, and the words didn't seem to be everyday speech, but rather demonic babble or something very alien. The girls are still in disbelief at what had happened to both of them and are unsure where it came from. They wonder if their cell signals somehow crossed with an old man, or if they really made contact with a goblin or a supernatural. Regardless, they had some creepy contact with someone or something they totally were not expecting and can't explain. Creepy voice message for a dead man. The murder of David Simpson in April 2005 was the most discussed crime of the decade. By 2010, the trial of Simpson's ex-girlfriend Hillary Smith had concluded with a first-degree murder charge for the death of Simpson. Hillary maintained she killed Simpson only in self-defense. The trial and its court proceedings were followed on the nightly news and were a spectacle for the public to watch, primarily for how frightening the case was. The prosecutor was brutal in challenging Smith's arguments in her defense. The most damning evidence against Smith was a group of voicemails she made to Simpson's cell phone, from which you clearly can hear her. Her voice was nervous, and she sounded muddled in her mind. At this point in the trial, Hillary had already confessed to the killing, so the voicemail was already known as a diversion made by Hillary to divert suspicion away from her. This attempt, the prosecutor pointed out, failed miserably. The creepy thing about the voicemail was that Hillary left the message only a couple hours after she murdered him. It was still hours before his body was found, making the message even more eerie. In these messages, her voice quivered and then rushed, probably caused by her fear of getting caught. What also made this so weird was that she had the PIN code for Simpson's cell phone and repeatedly called his phone to listen to her message left in his mailbox. The prosecutor's investigator proved she had heard her messages on his voicemail before and after his death. The strangest thing of all is this went on for a while. Hillary called the voicemail another 5 times. One of those times was 6 days after Simpson's body was recovered, for no apparent reason, just to listen. So scary and strange. At the end of the trial, she could not establish a good alibi for all the messages and other discrepancies in her statements. The jury convened and found her guilty of first-degree murder. The judge sentenced her to life in prison without parole in 2011.